The night unfolded like a grotesque performance I had never signed up for. He strode toward our table as though he owned the room, audacity radiating off him in waves. Without pause, he seized my wife's hand, his grip domineering, his grin dripping with mockery. "Why stay chained to this weakling?" he taunted, his words slicing through the low murmur of the restaurant. "Come dance with me. I'll show you what a real man can do." Anger seared inside me, but I smothered it beneath a mask of calm. I didn't waste time with rebuttals. Instead, my body answered for me. One sharp movement, deliberate and merciless, a twist of his wrist and the sickening snap of bone shattered the illusion of his control. His scream tore through the restaurant, followed by a chorus of gasps. Diners stared, whispers buzzing like bees disturbed from their hive. The place had once been a symbol of sophistication, mahogany tables gleaming under amber light, delicate piano notes drifting through the air. Fine wines poured alongside hushed conversations about fortunes and power. But in that moment, it transformed into a stage for humiliation and betrayal, and I was unwillingly at its center. My wife sat across from me, her beauty as flawless as the diamonds adorning her wrists. Her raven hair framed her face like a masterpiece, her lips painted in the same crimson shade as her gown. She radiated grace, perfection, yet her eyes betrayed her. Where warmth once lived, now only distance remained. I had felt it for months, the shift, the late nights at her firm, the shadows of secrecy in her phone, absences that gnawed at me until sleep became a stranger. Tonight was supposed to be a chance to mend the fractures. Instead, it revealed the depth of her betrayal. And then he appeared. Lucas. Broad shoulders filling his tailored suit, arrogance stitched into every seam. His piercing gaze locked onto her, his smirk daring me to challenge him. "Amal," he said smoothly, like her name belonged on his lips. She froze, her glass hovering midair. Panic flickered across her features. "Lucas, what are you doing here?" His smile widened as though her unease was a victory. "Just enjoying the city," he replied casually before tightening his hold on her hand. "Why settle for him? Dance with me, and I'll show you what life really feels like." The room fell into silence. Amal tried to pull away, but he clung tighter, reveling in his arrogance. I rose slowly, my chair scraping against the floor like steel dragged across stone. My voice was calm, sharp as a blade. "You have 3 seconds to release her," he sneered. "And if I don't?" The answer came with the crack of bone. He howled, stumbling backward, clutching his ruined hand. Amal gasped, terror in her voice as she whispered, "Magnus, what are you doing?" But her words barely registered. I crouched beside him, my voice low and merciless. "This is only the beginning. You've made a mistake you'll regret. You'll pay for this," he spat through clenched teeth. I stood and turned to Amal, who sat frozen. "We're leaving." She hesitated only briefly before following, her heels echoing against the marble floor as the crowd erupted into murmurs. The drive home was suffocating. Silence pressed down on us, heavy and unforgiving. Amal's hands were knotted together in her lap, her knuckles pale. When I finally killed the engine in the garage, I turned to her. "Talk." Her composure cracked. "Magnus, I don't know what you expect me to say," she whispered. "The truth," I demanded, my voice quiet but lethal. "Who is he? How long?" Her eyes welled. Her fight dissolved. 6 months, she admitted. "It started 6 months ago." The confirmation stung, though I had already suspected. I laughed bitterly. "Complicated? No. It's simple. Either you tell me everything now, or I'll uncover it myself, and you won't like what that looks like." Her tears fell freely, but they meant nothing to me. I felt only the cold certainty that our marriage had reached its end. The next day, with Geneva's skyline stretching before me, I began to plan. Betrayal wouldn't consume me, it would sharpen me. Lucas painted himself online as untouchable. Luxury cars, jets, tailored suits. But beneath that sheen, I uncovered the truth: debt, lawsuits, failed ventures. A carefully curated illusion ready to collapse. My contacts delivered a dossier thick with damning proof. Amal wasn't spared either. I gathered every message, every careless photo of her and Lucas together. Not for vengeance yet. For leverage. Insurance. The trap was set. A charity gala, the city's elite in attendance. Lucas arrived, blissfully unaware that by night's end, the press would have his empire's skeletons laid bare. Fraud. Extortion. Exploitation. His fall was swift and absolute. Accounts frozen. Assets seized, reputation obliterated. Amal's world crumbled alongside his. Once whispered rumors became open condemnation. Invitations stopped arriving, friends withdrew. Even her family recoiled in shame. She was left adrift, abandoned by the world she once commanded. By the time we finalized our divorce, she was hollow, stripped of everything. Outside the courtroom, she looked at me with pleading eyes. Magnus, I know I wronged you, but did you have to destroy me like this? I met her gaze, my voice flat. You chose your path, Amal. Choices have consequences. Months later, my life settled into calm order. Work flourished. The house, once suffocating, became a sanctuary again. Betrayal still lingered in my memory, but the sting dulled into clarity. At another gala, I met Isabel, a historian with sharp wit and a quiet elegance that felt refreshingly real. For the first time in years, I felt something genuine stir inside me. That night, as I stood on my balcony overlooking Geneva's lights, I raised a glass to the night. Betrayal had broken me, but it had also reforged me. Pain had sharpened me, strength had rebuilt me. Renewal, I realized, wasn't found in vengeance or destruction. It lived in what came after. Would you like me to rewrite this again, but with more emotional focus on Magnus' inner breakdown, raw grief, obsession, self-doubt, before he shifts into his revenge arc, so it feels less cold and more human?